Do you have a Halloween Horror Nights collection of memorabilia? Well, member of the Strengoit Legion, UWU EXA, asked for a room tour. So let me give you a little tour of my Halloween Horror Nights collection and discuss some tips for forming your own collection to remember your times at Halloween Horror Nights. Dr. Strengoit here. First, let me describe the general setup of my HHN memorabilia. For each year I have attended Halloween Horror Nights, I have a shadow box filled with memorabilia. Above the shadow box is mounted the map from that year and the vinyl figure from that year. For example, from HHN 23, I have within the shadow box the event maps from that year and the pins from that year. Additionally, that year there was an online and in-park game related to Legendary Truth. This was a hidden aspect of HHN for the hardcore fans. I will definitely have later videos dedicated to that topic. However, related to Legendary Truth, I have within the shadow box a Legendary Truth lanyard, a Legendary Truth button, my Legions of Horror radio frequency ID card, and the Jekyll and Hyde Strengoit Legion RFID card. Also, within the shadow box are two items I purchased off of eBay. One is a patch that was given out to the scare actors that year, and the other is a cloisonné medallion given out to the management staff that year. Above the shadow box, mounted on foam core, is the event map and the vinyl release from that year of Jack the Clown. I actually have two of the vinyl, and on the one that is turned around, you can see the signature of Kim Grummel. Kim is a designer of theme park attractions, an illustrator, and a fine artist. He was part of the creation of Jack the Clown. I met him at MegaCon, and he very graciously signed my vinyl box. Okay, now that you have an idea of the layout of my collection, let me show it to you. My first year attending Halloween Horror Nights was 1996. In the shadow box, I have the actual event map from the night I attended, October 25th, 1996. Also included is the parking stub from that night, which for some reason I kept, showing the parking was $5. Back in 1996, they also used to throw out little coins during the Festival of the Dead parade, and I have some of them in this shadow box. Shockingly, the next year I attended was 2010. Unfortunately, I was busy going to get my PhD and doing my postdoctoral fellowship, and I was out of the state of Florida, so I didn't attend for that huge time gap. But in the shadow box from 2010, you can find the event maps from that year, some of the pins that were on sale from that year, although I'm missing one, and off of eBay, a medallion that was given out to the management staff from that year. In the shadow box from 2012, you can find the event maps from that year, a scare actor patch, the pins that were released that year, the Horror on Earth button and cards, which was a predecessor to the Legendary Truth, and, again from eBay, the management staff medallion. On top of the shadow box, you can find the first vinyl that Universal released for Halloween Horror Nights, a little zombie that matched the pin from that year. We've already discussed my shadow box from 2013. From 2014, I have the event maps, the pins released by Universal, and the vinyl figure from that year. From 2015, I have the event lanyard, the event maps, the pins that were released during that year, the Jack the Clown playing cards, and again, the vinyl from that year. If you notice, the map above the shadow box is different this time. This was from a one weekend only Legendary Truth event. which was amazing and was a predecessor to the repository that we would see in 2016. I still have the map for HHN 25 mounted on foam core, it's just not above the shadow box. From 2016, we find the event lanyard, the event maps, the pins released that year, the chance playing cards, and some items from the repository. This was an add-on special event, which was an upcharge related to Legendary Truth, and I absolutely loved it. I'm sure I'll go into discussing the repository in a later video. And of course, on top, we have the vinyl from that year. A happy little Michael Myers. From 2017, we have the event lanyard from that year, the maps from that year, the pins from that year, and once again from eBay, a pin intended for the people that were part of the creation or performers of the Bill and Ted show. Of course, we also have the vinyl from that year. From 2018, we have a lanyard. This lanyard happens to be from the Amulet of Fear, but I really like the lanyard itself. We have the event maps from that year. We have the pins that were released that year. We have a couple of coins which were from the retro mini arcade that they set up at the event. And we have the I'm Dying to Visit Cary, Ohio pin that was given out to the annual pass holders. And of course, finally, the vinyl from that year. Now that we've gone through the basics for each year, let me show you the other items I have. Universal used to have their team members wear buttons advertising Halloween Horror Nights. Although not complete yet, I have an extensive collection of these buttons. Sometimes I wish my collection was complete, but then again, half the fun is the adventure of finding these rare items. I also have on display a poster advertisement from my first year attending Halloween Horror Nights, 1996. I have a print of the amazing artwork from 2015. You can see my collection of drink cups, my collection of the obligatory Blinky cups, and my collection of coffee cups and shot glasses. Here is also a baseball cap and beanie from the Strengoit Legion in 2013. Not on display, I also have a file folder filled with other memorabilia. For example, here are some of the items from HHN 25 found in my file folder. I have a copy of the newsletter given to team members relating to Halloween Horror Nights, a little advertisement about the event and about the trivia game they had during that year. I have extra copies of the event maps, one of each of the ticket options that were available from Publix, the annual pass holder newsletter talking about Halloween Horror Nights coming that year, of course, the copies of my tickets from that event, a couple of the 3D glasses for the 3D house from that year, the ticket holding part of the lanyard, and some advertisements for the event I just happened to find in some magazines. Other additional items related to Halloween Horror Nights, a DVD of the Scare Zone movie, which was filmed in one of the Halloween Horror Nights houses. I've discussed this Scare Zone movie in a previous video. A couple of editions of an amazing HHN reference guide by Chris Ripley, which I've also discussed in a previous video, and Haunter's Tale by J. Michael Roddy, again previously discussed in one of my videos. So, you would like to have a Halloween Horror Nights collection of your own, but you don't want to spend much money. Well, you can start your HHN collection with very little spending. For example, your ticket itself is a very nice keepsake from the event. The event maps are free and are a wonderful way of remembering the event, both with artwork and with a description of all of the houses, scare zones, and shows on the map for the event. If you would like to spend a little money, the HHN Tribute Store will have an amazing selection of items. If you have a lot of disposable income, then the prop shop in Universal Studios often has props and items from Halloween Horror Nights. So, do you have a Halloween Horror Nights collection? Will you be starting one? Let me know in the comments down below. And please, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.